If you've never invested in real estate before, there's definitely some things that you want to know. It may seem a little bit daunting, it may seem a little bit challenging, and that's because it really is. Now, the good thing is as you gain experience, as you gain more and more momentum with your real estate investment career and your rental property career in specific, you'll gain the knowledge and wisdom that comes along with success of learning the best practices and the best methods. You'll be able to focus more time and energy on the real fun, and that's growing your real estate investment business into a real estate investment empire. So in today's episode, we're going to cover 8 things that every rental investor should know. That way we can help you build your business into an empire and help you become a shrewd rental property investor in no time. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Tap the bell icon to get notified of the next episode. Thank you. Okay team, let's talk about this. This is super exciting. There's 8 things that you can start with right now today to get your business in motion, whether you have your first rental property, whether you got 10, whether you got 100. These 8 things are going to help you at any point that you are with your real estate rental empire. The first thing is to have a plan. You always want to have a plan with anything that you do. You may have heard of SMART goals. Extremely smart to use, by the way. SMART is simply an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based goals. If you're giving yourself SMART goals, you'll be able to plan out everything that you do moving forward with an appropriate business plan and appropriate structure. Having a plan, knowing your niche, and putting pen to paper and then putting paper to action when you're ready to do so with your new rental business is going to dramatically impact you. So let me give you an example of what we're talking about. I'm going to look over here at some notes that I jotted down, and I'm going to give you an example of something that I came up with. It's very simple to use and very simple to follow. So mapping out a strategy might follow a structure something like this. You have the goal, you have the strategy, you have the plan, and you have an idea and the time frame that you want to achieve things. So let's say the goal is to generate an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a month in monthly rental income to support your retirement. The strategy that you're going to use is to invest in 10 rental properties over the next 15 years to achieve that. So the plan might look something like come up with a $40,000 down payment to buy an investment property, number 1. The second might be to start saving your monthly rental income to help purchase with the next down payment. In year 5, buy a second investment property. In year 9, buy a third investment property using the operating income from your first 2 properties to purchase it. In year 10, refinance the first property and put that money towards the down payment of another 2 homes. And in 10 years from now, you'll have 5 homes producing $2,000 a month in income, and continue to acquire rental properties by reinvesting the net operating income. So now you have a self-sustaining business and you're using those profits to continually reinvest. In 15 years, you could be bringing in $4,000 to $5,000 a month or more, depends on your marketplace and the strategy that you chose to use. So that's an example of how to use a plan and something that you can start tailoring right away to your specific needs, to your specific goals by using a SMART goal method and planning out accordingly. The second thing that you want to do is consider your risk versus return. Risk versus return is extremely important to understand because it's a relationship between your risk and return that's going to assist you in knowing which properties to purchase and which ones to stay away from based upon your risk tolerance and how comfortable you are with different volatility. And here's something to think about. It's kind of interesting as we talk about rental property. As a general rule, homes in less expensive areas tend to have the higher yield potential, but generally they come with more volatility, more risk than the more affluent neighborhoods. So really get serious with yourself and consider how comfortable you are with a risk versus return trade-off when putting together your strategy. The third thing to know about is curb appeal isn't everything. Now, curb appeal might mean a lot in traditional residential sales, but it doesn't mean everything when we're talking about rental property investing. It's important to remember to look at the investment in a holistic point of view and don't base your purchase off of a single factor such as a strong curb appeal or a current cash flow. When evaluating potential rental properties, there's a number of things that you want to consider that are extremely important. Some of those fundamentals include the market, the bones of the home, the potential appreciation, the local economic conditions or trends, and other factors that might drive the rental demand in the city that you're looking at. So don't pass up a property based upon the exterior and interior. We both know that stuff can be changed in time if you choose to renovate that property on the interior or exterior. Nice curb appeal is essentially what? Slapping a coat of paint on the outside and doing something with the landscape, right? Making it look good. That's a curb appeal. It's very easy to make a house pop. It's very easy to renovate a property if you chose to flip them out at some point in the future as well. So right now, just make sure that the risk versus return reward is there for you, and make sure that you're looking at properties that meet your budget and meet your plan and help you achieve your goal over time. The fourth thing is to know your renter. Now, I know that might sound a little bit interesting, but you have to consider the demographic that you're going to be renting to. Like-in-kind properties attract like-in-kind renters in many cases. It's something to consider, and it's something to think about, and to be completely real with yourself. And you want to ask yourself, is the property I'm buying going to be desirable to some certain set of renters? Now, of course, the answer is going to be yes. Now you need to identify your audience, how best to target them, how best to reach them, and how best to make sure that your units stay fully rented out at all times as much as possible with the least amount of turnover as possible. The fifth thing that you want to do is always have a contingency plan. A lot of real estate investors will go into it with the mindset they're going to keep all the cash that comes in, only later on to realize they really should have been putting some of that money aside. They've blown the money. Now they don't have the money that's needed for something major, maybe a roof repair, maybe a new HVAC system, or maybe something happened to the plumbing that needs to be changed out, right? As a pro tip here, you want to make sure that you're always allocating between 1% and 2% of the purchase price of the property on an annual basis to ensure that you have money saved up for periodic things that are going to come up. During the time that you own that property, it's really going to happen at some point. The longer you hold that property, the more likely you are to be performing that maintenance. So maintenance simply comes with the territory of rental property ownership. As you're reaching your goal, you need to take care of your asset, and you need to take care of your nest egg, right? It's kind of common sense. At the end of the day, you're improving your asset and increasing its value, and don't forget that. Stay focused on the end objective, which is the goal that you have in mind. Now that brings us to point 6. Act like the CEO that you are. You're a rock star. You are a CEO. You are the chief executive officer. You are everything in your own business. So it's important to understand and become a savvy investor that savvy investors who scale their portfolio successfully have a system well defined, a system in place with processes that allow for efficient management and also efficient ways of purchasing new property, making sure that the units stay rented, making sure that if a handyman is needed that they have one on staff, and make sure that they have the right team in place. Any good CEO knows to look for people that are very good and very passionate about things that they are better on than the CEO themselves. So like I as a trusted real estate advisor would want to have an extremely good loan officer and extremely good title people, right? You as a rental property investor would like to make sure that you have a very good property manager ready to go, a very good trusted real estate advisor ready to go to help you purchase your new properties and keep eyes out for potential properties of interest to you. You also want to have a great local loan officer ready to go on your side before you're able to reinvest straight cash into the future into your property based upon your net operating income. You want to make sure you have a good home inspector. The list goes on and on and on. Sit down and really think about every person that you would need on your team to help you achieve the success that you dream of, because you can succeed if you believe it. What you dream, you can believe, and what you believe, you can dream and you can achieve. So make sure that you go ahead and achieve your goals, because you are the CEO, you are the rock star. That brings us to point 7, which is keeping your business organized. Every good business has a plan, and that was why we led in with the first point, was having one. Now, keeping your business organized revolves around a lot of different things. Obviously, you're going to have a bank account that needs to be managed. You're going to need to create folders. You're going to need email accounts. You're going to need forms. So there's obviously some different things that we could do here that make it a little bit easier. You can use some very simple things like Mint.com or Quicken for your financial management software, help you keep your ducks in a row and ready to go. Make sure that you have a separate bank account set up just for your rental property investing purposes. It is its own business. Treat it like one, and make sure that you keep your money separate from your personal money and your business money. It will really help with your taxes, and it'll really help you keep perspective on how successful your business really is, okay? The second thing is to make sure that you have something like Dropbox or Google Drive that you can keep all your documents, all your rental contracts in place, and any documentation that you need. Make sure that you start storing it. Over time, you're going to say, you know what? I wrote this really good rental contract before, or I had this really good document before. I don't know what I did with it. At some point in the future, I promise you, you're going to think, you know, I really wish I would have saved it. Go ahead and save it to the cloud. Once you save it to the cloud, you can easily reference it and come up with an organization system that's going to work best for you. I'll give you an idea of, like, whenever I'm working with a family here in Las Vegas, whenever I'm using my different cloud storages that I have different cloud storages, all very secure, of course. I make a file of the name of the client that I'm working with and the property associated with. Every document I put in there before I put it in there, so it's easy to search for just using the search function. I'm going to put the name of the document, the name of the family, the property address, and the date that I put it in there, or the date of that document. So if I ever need to go back and reference it at some point, I can go, boom, buyer's due diligence for this client. We were looking up for the home inspection. Boom, done, found, that fast, right? You want to be able to have the same ability, same organization in your rental property investing career. Get it set up today. Get that taken care of. As a pro tip here, I'm going to give you some really cool tools that you can use. One of them is Rent Tracker. You're probably going to love that. And you can also use Property Buddy if you want to check it out too. Of course, I'm going to make this easy for you. It's in the show more description below. Check them out. See if it's right for you. And tell us what you think about it in the comment section below, of course, right? The 8th point is it's a marathon, not a sprint. And it's important to remember that. All too often people say, I want to win the lottery, I want to become a multimillionaire, I want to be this, I want to be that. And you ask them, okay, great, that sounds like an awesome plan that you have there. What steps are you taking to realize them? Oh, well, I'm not doing anything, I just want it to happen. Well, without taking consistent action towards a worthwhile goal, which you should be passionate about if it's your goal, right? Then how do you ever expect to reach it? A lot of people want the reward without going through the journey, but it's the journey that defines us. It's the journey that develops our character. It's the journey that makes us wise and knowledgeable moving forward in life and helps round us out not only as a shrewd rental property investor, but also as a very good person in this world, and helps define our character of who we are. We learn more about ourselves in the journey than we do if someone just handed us a check for $10 million. Now that's something to think about, and it's something to be very real about. As another point, take a look at how many people do win the lottery, and take a look at how many of them go flat out broke in 3 to 5 years. It's because they never knew how to manage money to begin with. And it doesn't start with $100 million in the bank. It starts with $1 in the bank. If you can manage $1, you can manage $1 billion. It's something to be real about. So get out there, take daily consistent action towards your worthwhile goal, and make things happen. Now, here's what I want you to do is tell me what you're thinking about this episode in the comment section below, along with any of the tips that you would have for rental property investing, and help our team continue to learn and grow together. Thank you. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information. If you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, or if you need help finding a top agent where you live, please let me know. Always love to hear from you, always here to help you. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. Because just like you, I'm sure you can think of just one other person that's wondering, I really want to get into rental property investing, and I know there's some stuff I should know. Where should I go to get this information, and what are the things I should know? Share this video with them and help them get started on the right path today. Thank you. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching today, team, and enjoy an amazing day.